Sean Spicer, senior advisor for America's First PAC and former White House press secretary. You're not fearful of Fox News, are you, Sean? You're okay.
I'm a little scared. Not you, Bill. I'm scared of Sandra. I'm scared of Sandra, not
you. Wise words. A Merry Christmas to you. What do you think about Comey's reaction?
Merry Christmas.
What's going on there?
Well, it's interesting. I think he's continuing to deflect from the fact that he was fired for not doing a job. There's a lot of questions regarding Director Comey's actions, specifically his handling of Hillary Clinton and her email scandal, and he's clearly trying to deflect from his failure to do his job properly, and he's a little concerned about the scrutiny that he continues to face.
Did you see Sarah Sanders' tweet? If not, I'll read it to you. I mean, she's your successor at the White House. She said Republicans should stand up to Comey and his tremendous corruption, from the fake Hillary Clinton investigation to lying and leaking to FISA abuse, and a list too long to name. The president did the country a service by firing him and exposing him for the shameless fraud he is. My guess is the Comey story is not over yet, Sean.
Well, I think, as you've noticed, I mean, House Republicans, and they've done this in closed door. This hasn't been a spectacle. They continue to want to get at the bottom of what was going on, what the circumstances were regarding the investigation of Clinton and her emails. And obviously, he continues to be a little bit fearful of that type of scrutiny and look at his record.
Well, the right doesn't like him. We can clearly see that. The left likes him now.
Well, and remember, Bill, the left wasn't too happy with him either.
They did not like him when he reopened the Clinton matter in late October for the election, Sean.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, there were both sides had problems with him, so I get it. He does not like the attention that continues to focus on his job, on the decisions that he made or didn't make, and so he's deflecting.
Do you remember January 24th, 2017? That was the day the FBI agents came to talk to General Flynn. Do you remember that day in the West Wing?
No, I don't. That day is not one that sticks out among the ones that I was there.
The reason I ask you is Comey said in this interview in New York City a week and a half ago, he said, let's just send some guys over there. It's early on. They're disorganized. Let's basically, to paraphrase him, let's take a shot at it. What did you think of that?
Well, knowing what we know now is a lot different than what we knew at the time, which is, again, I think trying to take advantage of this and not do it properly is, from what we can tell, happened, in the sense that they were going in and trying to talk to this guy without fully making him aware of the circumstances for which they were going in to talk to him. So, you know, as we look back now, I think a lot more makes sense as to what the real motives were back early on in the administration.
What do you think those motives were, Sean?
Well, I think to what you just said, I think there was an attempt to go out and get people and to make sure that they caught them up in things, as opposed to doing an investigation where people understood what the motives were for why they were being visited and met with.
Remember James Comey went to Trump Tower, right? With the dossier
I do.
information?
I was there for that.
What part of that dossier has been proven to be accurate?
Nothing that I can tell. In fact, at the time when Director Comey met with the president and pulled him aside and said, can I meet with you privately and explain what's going on, he explained to him that while we weren't shown the dossier at the time, that there would be this addendum or appendix to the briefing that was going to be let out, and then it made wild accusations, none of which had been proved, none of which continue to be proved, but he wanted him to be aware of its existence. And to this day, there has been no proof that anything in that has been substantiated in any credible way.
Well, do you think Comey caused damage to the FBI? Because he essentially said yesterday, it ain't me, babe.
Well, I mean, clearly, I think that there's a lot of people who had issues with how he handled the investigation of Hillary. And as you mentioned earlier in the segment, it came from both the left and the right. The timing of it, the way he did it, his failure to properly report up the chain to the Attorney General. There's an attempt to which he was rogue and pursuing his own agenda and not doing it in accord with the current Department of Justice.
Sean, thanks for coming back. We'll see what happens today with General Flynn.
Merry Christmas to both of you.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you so much for being here. And Merry Christmas. Thanks, Sean. Sandra.